Welcome, welcome, my lovelies. Welcome back. Welcome back to this cold and rainy and windy day in the UK. Yay! It's watering our plants in the garden, and the flowers are all blooming at the moment, so it's doing well. It needs the water. So, my lovelies, yes. Oops, it's come undone. So I'm just about to open up and put together. I'll reseal it. There we are. It's a kit, all in kit form. It's quite heavy, so there'll be some size when it's finished. But I'm going to build and put together an apothecary cabinet. Apothecary cabinet. Which is, I think, just another word for an old-fashioned name for a chemist, I think. Yes, it is. It must be. Anyway, just a little gift for JB's birthday, which is coming up very, very soon. Okay, so there's quite a lot of parts to make up one piece of furniture, which is good. All the parts that are in the wrapping here, it's because there's more than one piece. These bits aren't wrapped like that because they're just well, actually that's two pieces, but it's just got a bit of paper around it rather than in a separate bag. So we've got the big square there. I'm guessing that's the back. It doesn't say, but actually no, it doesn't say on that side either. I'm guessing that's the back looking at it. The cabinet top, side panel, top and bottom panels, base, drawer dividers, drawer sides, drawer base, drawer back, drawer front, and handles. Okay, so let's get the rules at the rules. Yes, is it the rules? Let's get the instructions out and read this first of all. Okay, so first of all, I am going to put the little drawer dividers together, the grooves up, and placing these in like so. Okay. Now I've slotted all the insides together as instructed, and put glue down one side and along the top. And then what I'm going to do is lay one side panel and one top panel, or the bottom panel. Doesn't matter at the moment which way up because they're all even. But I'm going to place a side panel in the jig so it's kept nice and square, and put the top panel. Oh, I put a bit of glue along the top panel there, like so, and then lay those two together. The side panels are slightly longer than the top and bottom panel, so the side panels come up and cover the top panel, and then I'm just going to push that in to the whole thing, and hopefully it will be square, or as square as possible. Okay, so I've put the glue on all the crossbars here, up and down, and on the sides of each shelf, and the bottom or the top of the up and down bits, and I've put glue all around the edge of this square as well. So now I'm just going to carefully place this in, and that should sort of add to squaring the whole thing up. Okay, so that's that. And now I'm going to get some, you could use clamps, you know, the long bar clamp type things if you want. I am just going to carefully, this is a very cheap way of doing this sort of thing, but it works. So just a little tip, if you don't have special clamps or any special tools to hold things like this. An elastic band, or you can use also, it says, as we would guess, you can use masking tape around each corner as well, just to hold it on. What I'm going to do is just put these on quite evenly. I'll put a few on. Now this is there's two pieces here to go on the top of the unit, and it tells you one is slightly smaller than the other. But it just tells you basically to glue the two pieces together, but along one edge make sure both of them are flush with each other, and the rest of the three edges will have a tiny gap along the front and down each side, which you can look at. You don't have to measure it, you know, you can just do that by eye, but to get that one edge flush along there, I'm going to put glue on them and then, you know, tap them down like so on a flat surface, bringing it towards me and scooping up like that, and it'll just round it, and I'll do the same with each side. So like that. See how easy it sands first of all. Yeah, that is actually all it needs. So these are laser cuts, so they're sharp. This end here, which you probably can't see properly, but it's slightly rounded. Just go slightly under like that, instead of being sharp all round. Make sure you keep this bit up the right way, obviously, when you do it, so all the edges are worn on the underneath, or the side that you want it. I'm sorry my hands are now in the way, I can see, but tap it down. Make sure there's a gap around those three sides, evenly placed, and then this is flush. So once you've got it in place, I'm messing about there, I'll just make sure it's in place and it's upright so it's flush at the back, and then I'll just, with this one, instead of elastic bands, which wouldn't do such a good job, I'll just use some little clamps just to hold it in place, or I'll just lay that there for a minute. So I'll let that dry and then continue on to the next bit. Okay, so this is the base of the cabinet, and these are the very low long legs. So this is the front piece, and I'm going to glue this to one edge, one long edge of the base panel, and then I will put glue on the little side legs and glue those on each side like so, and then there's one the same shape but without the pattern, the detail on it, and that will go along the back edge. So I'll glue these 4 bits on, and we'll let that dry. Yes, the drawer fronts have got a little design on, so you can see, plus there is a bag of bits there that I think you stick one on each of the drawer fronts. They fit in that little slot at the front there, and then the drawer fronts, I'll do those on their own, and I'll paint them all, sand them, paint them, and get them the colours that I want. But the rest of the drawer, I'm just going to make up the base and the 3 sides as they are. Okay, so that's everything put together except the fronts of the drawers. I've sanded the edges of all the fronts of the drawers. These are the tiny handles that will be glued on, but I'll paint the drawers first to the design that I want, or the colours that I want, and then I'll attach the handles, and I also have something to paint on the handles, even though they are minuscule tiny things, but I want to just touch those up with something as well, just to add a bit more, something different to make it more unique. Okay. Okay, my lovelies, so this is the next morning, which is also the day before JB's birthday. I'm really cutting this to the wire. So JB has gone out to a neighbour just to help her in the garden for a couple of hours. So I've got 2 hours. I haven't painted the outside of this yet, but I do have the top on. I haven't painted the feet or glued those on, so I've got that to do. And I'm also in the middle of painting all the drawers. It may well be a late birthday present and he may not get it tomorrow, but I am going to do as much as I can and show you. I'll show you it completed, whether it's finished for his birthday or not. God love him. Anyway, needless to say, I'm in a panic. Let's carry on down here and get something done. Oh, I really ask for trouble, I really do. So I have chosen 4 colours that all complement, to go with each other, to give a certain look of the whole thing, the sort of retro-y look that I want to give. And I'm now taking off the most of the paint just to lighten it and make it look old and worn looking. I don't want this cabinet to look brand new. So after giving 3 coats to each drawer, which that alone has taken quite a while during this 2 hours, I'm now sort of wiping off, well, not wiping, I'm sanding, but it's just a way of doing it. When things are so small like that and you're trying to sand them in your hands, I get a lot of cramp in here in my thumb area. But if I just hold it down like that and just stroke it like that, then it doesn't affect me at all. So anyone that has problems sanding small things using their hands, this is a better way of doing it, I would say. And I'm going to paint the outside all the same colour, so I'm now going to glue this on. So I need to get some wood glue and get this glued on, and then we'll carry on. Right, now what I'm doing now is trying to paint the little index cards in the middle. It's very, very, very tiny detailed work, but what I want is not a solid colour. It's an off-white colour I'm using for the cards, but I just want it sort of a bit mottled looking and not solid. It's not really showing up properly there. Then I'm going to go around the outside because there's a metal rectangle holding the index cards on, and then I've got to glue the handles on and paint those as well. Okay, after doing the little off-white bits on the index cards, I'm now picking up the handles with tweezers because they are far too small for my big fingers, and I don't want the glue to show, so I'm dipping them in a tiny bit of tacky glue and then lowering them down into the slot for the handle. Oops. It's at times like this that I'm really pleased that I still own a hairdryer, even though I have no hair to dry. So I can just get this blow dried quickly, give it another coat before JB gets home, and I can hopefully I'm going to finish this and hide it before he gets in. I've mixed up a colour. I've used a black just to darken the colour, but I've just mixed up 2 colours that I like the look of, to get the effect that I want. So it's a unique colour, which is good. It just makes it a bit more special for that person that owns it. They know they won't be able to get the same thing anywhere else, which is quite nice and cheap. So I've given it 1 coat, and now I'm just going to go over and wear bits off because the drawers are worn looking. I don't want this perfectly painted. I will sand sand while I have painted it, just to make it a bit smoother. But I'm definitely wearing bits off, and mainly at the corners. What I will do is I'll just dilute some black, some more black just as it is in water, very watery, and then just sort of wipe it over just to make it slightly grubbier. There we are. So I'll just get another dish and just water it down with the black and just put a bit of that on it. Now what I'll do is just, it's your own discretion really, so I'll just put bits on, whip it down a bit and just build it up gradually as I want it. Excellent. Oh, I've still got to do the tiny extra touches. Right, I shall get these brushes washed out quickly and then finish off the front of the drawers. Okay. I've brought toffees with me. I absolutely love toffee, so it's just for substance and to keep me going in this panic and give me an extra energy boost. Just for health reasons, girlfriend. Right, I'll stop breathing for a minute. So I'm just finishing off the little index cards, or the drawer labels, I suppose they are. I'm just putting a little chrome or metal frame around them, and the fronts of the drawer handles are I'm chroming those as well. Oh, okay folks, all is done, and I've got 4 minutes before JB is usually home. I just wanted to say, just in case I didn't mention it earlier, that I use liquid chrome pen to do the metal bits on the front. You can get them 3 different sizes: small, medium, large. Well, it gives you the 1, 2 or 4mm nibs. You can use them lightly, or if you press down on them then it comes out more. But here we have, quickly, we'll show you the finished piece, and I am very pleased with it. I'll turn it round so you can see, just sort of shaded with the black. It's just giving a different, not just a solid colour, so it looks a bit more worn, a bit older. So all the drawers, I had to sand them all, so I would definitely not paint down the sides of them. I'm glad I didn't do that. So if you buy these kits, then the drawers fit very, very snugly indeed. Some of them are hard to open, but JB will just pull out a few here and there, I'm sure, or leave them all closed. But I'm really pleased with the effects, and the chrome just sort of sets off the front of them with the little white cards at the bottom of the drawers. So I'm really pleased with it. We will laugh about it after the event when he has his birthday tomorrow and he opens it. Then I'll tell him how I was in the workshop. He'll just raise his eyebrows. Hurrah! Thank you for watching, my lovelies. I hope you enjoyed seeing me put this together, and looking forward to the next video. Can't wait. Take care, everybody. Bye.